Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online. My name is Ubaglo, and with me once again is...
Myclomaniac, hello internet.
Good day. So, last time we rescued a stranded ship from inside the wormhole.
Yes, for
and...
completely benevolent reasons with absolutely no self-interest involved for the goals of our empire.
That's right. And we also rescued a prisoner from a prison in the Badlands, once again, for no alternate reason.
Nope.
At all. Nope.
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 Pure benevolence. We're good guys.
That's right. So today we are going to continue our wave of benevolence by patrolling some sectors within the Algira system, it says here.
Actually, we probably should have gone here before because we have to go to another sector, but whatever.
Oh, whoops. Oh well.
Yep. Also, at first I read that as Algeria.
Alright, so... Oh,
we have to go down.
Triangle. Yep. Yeah. So basically, yeah, once again, we're basically doing a mission that we had already done on the Federation side, just now we're doing it as a Klingon.
Because we're the Federation's bitches, apparently.
We are their allies.
Yes. We're their allies and we want their delicious technology.
Yes.
And the secret of prune juice.
I think we already have the secret of prune juice.
Yeah, Worf brought it over when he came back.
Yeah.
It's a warrior's drink. He actually says that when he first is introduced to it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I've never had prune juice. I associate it with old people, but
I'm not a fan of prunes.
I don't think I've ever eaten a prune. I've eaten raisins, which are kind of close, in that they're a sun-dried fruit.
Well, I mean, raisins are dried grapes.
Yes. Prunes are dried plums. But they were still dried.
Yes, but they're also entirely different fruits.
Yes, but they're still dried. You know what else is a dried fruit? Sun-dried tomatoes, and those are delicious. Which is funny, because I absolutely hate normal tomatoes.
I am not a fan of raw or otherwise unprocessed tomatoes, which includes sun-dried tomatoes.
See, it's weird. I cannot stand eating a normal tomato in any form. You know, I mean, ketchup and tomato sauce is fine, like spaghetti sauce. But
yeah, like I really like tomato sauces, but I just can't have the tomatoes.
Yeah, but something about sun-drying them just makes them delicious to me.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah. Okay, we have to go save some dudes. Let's go be big hero mans.
And beat up some Cardassians.
Yes. There is no greater foe than the crippled Cardassian Empire recovering after their wounds from a prolonged war.
That's right. It is an honorable battle. I also once again forgot to change my ships.
Oh, your fighters?
Summons. Yeah.
You're so silly.
I will do that as soon as we're done here. Once we're back out. I should remind you.
Which I will do if I remember.
Yeah, because these summons are so bad.
Are they as bad as the Power Glove? Did I say that last week?
I don't think you did.
Okay. That sounds familiar. It sounds like something I would say.
Yeah, probably. Although, you know what, like, the fact that they are so bad is probably why it spawns both at once when you use it, as opposed to it only spawning one, which is what would normally happen. I don't think I've really gone into a lot of detail about it, but the way summons work is generally each hangar bay item that you put on allows you to summon 2 waves out at the same time. And generally they're broken into three size categories. There's frigate size, where you only get one summon out at a time. There's heavy fighter, where you get two out at a time, and then there's light fighter, where you get three out at a time. There aren't very many heavy fighters in the game. I only really know of a small handful. I think the drone ships on the Scimitar are heavy fighters. The Voth summons for their carriers are heavy fighters.
Yeah, I know the Obelisk was light.
Yeah, those are light. I think one of the runabouts is considered a heavy fighter, but I haven't really played a lot with them. Strangely enough, the Peregrine is considered a regular fighter, so you get three of those out at a time.
Nice. So now that we're out of combat, you should change your summons.
I don't think I can do it while I'm inside. Yeah, because it's still equipped on my other ship, so I actually need to wait until we're in sector space.
Oh, okay. Well then, memo to self. After I'm being healed. He's saying don't approach the planet. You know what we're gonna do?
We're gonna approach the mining facility.
Cloak, and we're gonna mining facility. That's what I meant. Planet, mining facility, same thing.
Yes, yeah, same thing.
Where are you? I don't wanna Leroy Jenkins this.
Oh yeah, because these platforms can be a little painful.
Yeah, and you're the tank.
Yeah.
I'm the DPS. I'm the squishy rogue.
So let's start with this bottom group here. So generally, what would happen is you would use you would summon a wave of your ships, and you would get you would get however many comes out at for the amount, like the ship size that you have. So like if you were summoning something that had 3 per wave, you would get 3 of them. And depending on oh dear. Yep, that could have went a little better.
Yeah, see what we're doing right now? We're dying, actually.
Yeah. And each summon, each hangar bay has a resummon time, which is based on it has a resummon time, and that resummon time is then modified by your ship's auxiliary power. So the more auxiliary you have, the faster you can send out more summons, which actually makes a lot of sense, considering that the dedicated carriers are actually designed as science vessels, whereas what I'm using right now is technically a cruiser. So them being based around auxiliary power actually makes a lot of sense, because science abilities are also based on auxiliary.
So this time, let's not die.
Probably a good idea. So I'll have to show off a different set of summons
After this mission.
Yeah, once we're done with this mission.
Like I was saying, I'll try to remind you. Unless I forget. Which I might, because I'm not using a carrier.
Oh, you.
Hey, it's not my job to remind you to switch your summons. It's my job to blow stuff up.
There also are, when they made a pretty big overhaul of the way summons work, Cryptic also added a series of generic summons, because it used to actually be basically a console, so to speak. So it was locked to the ship itself. So like this ship could only summon these pets. and this ship could only summon these pets. Eventually, Cryptic just made it an equipable item, and there are still some ships which can only be summoned on certain carriers, but for the most part, you can mix and match quite a lot. Which is real nice. I like that they've done that. But they also added a bunch of fairly generic ones as well. Like there's a set of ones that you can summon out that will give you or an ally bonus shield healing, or one that does. I think there's one that does shield healing and one that does hull healing, and then there's just like generic, just generic fighter craft or generic shuttles.
Did you remember that too?
Yeah, I don't remember this being quite this hard when we were doing this on the Fed side.
They're discriminating against Klingons.
Yeah. Clearly they're jerks. Really, we should just not be diving right into the middle like we have been.
Yeah, probably.
At the very least, we should get rid of these weapons platforms pretty fast.
That's what I'm doing. In fact, you wanna like take the ships, and I'll just handle the platforms.
Oh, I'll see how well I can handle that. I'll see how well I can handle that.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of ships. Okay. I think we just somehow kind of got everything on us at once.
Yeah. That does, in fact, seem to be what happened. Well, we got it mostly handled.
Yeah. That one down.
So we got just another 2 here. All right. One more.
And then 2 more platforms, but
yeah, the platforms
too bad
will be
without the ships blowing the crap out of us.
Yeah, the platforms will be easier. There we go. Now we can take out these platforms.
Yay, that only took forever.
There we go. Now we can finally go down to the planet's surface.
I'll take my trusty sidekick Ballara 2.
Yeah, I will also take a Ballara 2. There we go.
Oh, it's this one.
It's this one. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely didn't remember this one being quite so annoying.
Neither do I.
Again, and I did this with you in the party, so
Yep.
it definitely wasn't a factor of it being more difficult now that there's additional players.
Maybe our
Oh,
Federation
oh well.
character was just leader.
Maybe.
More elite.
It's a possibility.
This building is made out of metal.
What?
Fascinating.
Metal? How could that be?
Eat lead, coppers.
I don't quite think lead is what you're using.
Yeah, I know. They should add the Tommy gun weapon to be effective against Borg.
They actually do have the TR-116 in the game,
Yeah, I know that.
which I really want them to finally add to the C-store. But like they've been saying that they have a bit of a contract issue, which is why it isn't in there yet. Which makes me real sad.
The Federation thought that a sniper rifle that could fire through walls was a pointless endeavor that have no real practical use.
Well, it was more a matter of carrying the ammunition around. Like, you know, when you had
sniper rifle that fires through walls, you use it for like assassinating people.
I think that's the other problem. Like, you can use a phaser for more than just shooting people. You can't use a Yeah, you can. They use phasers for other things all the time.
Yeah,
like
shooting
digging.
people.
Yeah, they also use it for digging.
You can use a gun for digging.
Not as efficiently.
Yeah, well, you know what? The phaser's not as efficient as a drill.
It's more efficient than a rifle.
Slightly. But you know what's not as efficient as? Shooting someone through a wall.
Yeah.
Actually, it doesn't need to be a wall. You can shoot someone from like a mile away through like 3 buildings.
That was a pretty great rifle.
Yeah, it was. That's a good episode too.
Yeah, it was.
Because you had Edry slowly going crazy, being influenced by the murderer.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
I think it helped that was like Ezri's probably most good episode because she only had the 1 season, thus didn't really have time to do much. It's kind of sad, but
yeah,
that was one of those. The actress playing Jadzia left because, you know, what's gonna be better for her career? One of the probably highest regarded science fiction franchises of all time, or a sitcom with Ted Danson? This is a trick question.
Yeah, it's clearly the sitcom. I mean, do you want to be typecast for the rest of your career?
I'm not an actor.
Do just look at how well Kevin Sorbo's career went.
From what I hear, Kevin Sorbo is actually kind of a massive arrogant dick. based on what I've heard about like behind the scenes production issues on Andromeda. I mean, to be fair, that could have just been a case of like the guy, the production staff of the show gave him too much power as it was, and it kind of went to his head. So I don't want to say like I shouldn't say massive arrogant dick. I should say I've heard he's hard to work with, because saying he's a massive arrogant dick is kind of like an assault on his character when I don't know him, and that's mean.
Yeah, you jerk.
I know. I don't know. It's funny because sometimes being typecasted works. Like I know voice actors really actually want to be typecasted, because when those roles come up, you got a job.
I just think it kind of depends on what you're being typecasted as.
Yeah.
You know, a guy who is very weirdly typecasted was Jerry Orbach.
Oh yeah, because he's Lenny Briscoe and that's it.
Yeah. Well, like even his first role was
Lenny Briscoe as a defense lawyer. Yeah.
No. Actually, he was in a movie before that where he played a detective.
Oh.
And then he played Lenny Briscoe, and then he ended up playing. Like
he played Lenny Briscoe as a defense attorney on the show before he was Lenny Briscoe.
Yeah, that was also pretty great. Well, when I noticed that as I was watching through the DVDs.
Yeah.
But like, he also was a detective in a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
But like, he's good at that, so I can't fault him.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I guess on some level you don't want to be typecasted as a matter of, I guess it's a matter of like your pride as an actor versus your ability to get work easily. Oh, that's right. We just had to shoot these.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, Mark Hamill was afraid of being typecast as Luke Skywalker for years. Then I guess he became a voice actor.
Yeah.
And then he became typecast as being a complete freaking psycho. But
he is really good at voice acting villains.
Yep.
Like, he is really good at voice acting villains. Like he was a villain in what was it? He was the villain in one of the Miyazaki movies. He was
Laputa, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
He was
Castle in the Skies. I think that's what they released her as, but in Japan, it was Castle in the Sky.
Yeah, it was Castle in the Sky. He was a villain in Full Throttle, where he was really good.
He was, of course, Fire Lord Ozai in Avatar: The Last Airbender, not Avatar: Blue Cat People. He played some clown on some goofy show about a nut job superhero that some people might have heard of. I don't know. It's kind of some obscure thing.
Yeah, kind of neat.
Yeah, it's like they made a show about Green Arrow, but then they wanted to have him dress up as a bat or something.
Yeah, like what was up with that?
I don't know. They should have done a Green Arrow and all those iconic villains like Firefly and Deathstroke and Deadshot.
Oh.
I make fun of Arrow way too much for that.
Arrow is the best Batman show on television right now.
It amusingly actually is going to have competition as the best Batman show on television either later this year or next year, because they're doing a show about like Gotham cops or something.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I mean, it's on Fox, so it'll be canceled after a season, but...
yeah. So we don't need to worry about how it works out.
Just as a concept, I don't know. It's like I don't know if people want to watch a Batman show without Batman.
A procedural crime drama featuring the probably the most inept
Well,
police force in the world.
well, it's funny because there was a comic book called Gotham Central, which was basically that idea, except
I like how this guy called us Starfleet scum.
I know what a jerk.
Like that should be especially why we should shoot him in the face.
I know we're not Starfleet scum. We're Klingons, honorable Klingon warriors.
Yeah.
I say as I shoot you in the back.
Hey, that's honorable.
It's tactics.
That's right.
Besides, you know what's not honorable? Being a genetically engineered super soldier.
Yeah, the Klingons really hate that.
Chomp.
Especially when it messes with their looks.
I know. Fucking genetic engineering, man.
Yeah.
Bleep that out. I was trying not to curse that much. Shit. Or put a harsh language warning. I know. Sorry. Sorry. You know what? We get one can still be PG-13. So. But yeah, there was a comic book called Gotham Central. It was actually really good because it was basically a police procedural about Gotham City cops. But
Yeah, like
that
on
had
one
a good
hand, I
writing
think
staff and
yeah, like that would have to be the thing because on one hand, I could see that being something that's kind of interesting. On the other, a lot of Batman stuff portrays the Gotham police as, if not incredibly incompetent, utterly corrupt.
yeah, well, this was a time when they weren't quite corrupt, but and it would help that it was using like actual pre-established Batman cop characters like Renee Montoya and Harvey Bullock.
Okay, yeah, that would
Along with
definitely
some
be a lot.
other ones. Though, if I remember correctly, Harvey Bullock was actually not a cop at that point. He had either been fired or quit, and he was basically kind of like, I think he was like a PI or something, or like a civilian informant they use sometimes.
Really.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a really good comic book, and there was actual talk of it getting a direct, hey, we're doing this as a TV show for a while, but I guess it kind of petered off. So I don't know how Fox's version will compare. Though I know that is like basically, I think it's about Jim Gordon, like years before he becomes commissioner. So like I think it's even before Batman exists. But I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, like I'll at least give it a shot. I mean, I'll admit, I was not really expecting Arrow to be all that good, and it turned out to be.
I'm just weirded out because we live in a
bad.
world where Arrow's a better written show to me than Shield is.
Yeah, that is I mean, something that kind of.
I mean, Shield's getting a
frustrates
lot
me a
better.
little. It is,
more
but
recent
it's.
episodes, because I think they took some of the early criticism to heart and were able to make changes by this point.
Yeah.
But still, Arrow seems like a better written. I mean, once you cut away all the necessary CW drama bullcrap.
Yeah, like a lot of that stuff they could have done away with. But yeah, alright, whatever.
But just on a basic like plotting writing level, I think it's a better comic book show than Shield is at this point.
I just there are two things that I'm constantly amazed when I watch it though, and one is how much it is the best Batman show on TV right now, and how goofy some of its product placement is.
Buy the Microsoft Surface now.
Yeah, like the way they place the Surface in a lot of scenes is so hilarious. I can't get upset about it. It is just so dumb.
I mean, I can't complain because I watch Gundam, which is basically a half-hour-long model commercial disguised as a serious war drama. But
yeah.
Or as far as the current Gundam goes, a half-hour model commercial about model building, but model fighting. But so like as a general statement, product placement doesn't bother me because I buy into it and will basically buy toys.
one of the
crap.
things that I actually am let's just say upset about when it comes to people complaining about product placement is the idea of it's like what do you expect them to do otherwise? Like
Yeah, you
not
have
even
to.
a question of the funding, especially when you consider actually a lot of the things that there are a bunch of products that get placed that they either the company needs to pay the product for or no one exchanges money at all. Like apparently Apple doesn't take any money for product
Whoops.
placements like at all.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's
it's
interesting.
weird.
Well, maybe
Um,
that's why they
maybe
overcharged
maybe
on all their electronics by like $100.
well sure that's also probably why uh, Apple stuff is in everything.
Okay, we don't
Uh,
like this.
but the other thing is like the other reason why I think it's kind of a silly thing to complain about is so you're making a series that's based on an approximation of the real world. Like, do you think it makes any sense for your characters to be like not drinking cokes or not walking by McDonald's?
Nope. Though
I
that
mean,
reminds
if
me of
you
one of the more hilarious ones. Um,
oh, which one?
Godzilla 1985 had a lot of Dr. Pepper sponsorship to the point where basically one of the scenes was a dude in like what's it, NORAD or something like that. There's a Dr. Pepper vending machine just in the background. It's just kind of hilarious to me. Just the thought of you know not even like a hallway in NORAD, like directly behind the main war room where all the American characters are watching Godzilla's rampage in Tokyo for no reason. Is a like
That
giant Dr. Pepper machine.
that sounds pretty great.
And I have to wonder if that is like remotely accurate.
You know what?
Probably
Actually,
not.
no. Simply because so the way vending machine operators tend to work is they are the ones who restock it, and it's
Yeah.
highly unlikely that they would have given clearance to the restockers to
To
enter
wander
that
into
area.
NORAD.
What
At least,
likely what like they likely would have had would have instead been a they would have had some of their staff running an actual canteen,
yeah.
and they would have been the ones bringing the product into the secure area.
Yeah, it was just that one's just always one of the funniest examples of
Yeah,
cross placement to me.
yeah, that's kind of goofy.
Mostly because those scenes were basically just jammed into the movie to, I don't know, make it more palatable for American audiences or something. Okay, can we go now? We're at a battle. Okay.
There
Hey,
we
change your
go.
summons. Um,
Yeah, let's equip some Orion interceptors.
but yeah, in general, product placement doesn't bug me as long as it's not like super gratuitous and actually takes away from the show or movie or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Next, we're going to go back to Empok Nor,
Yay!
so we can try and capture the leaders of the true way, like we have done in the past.
Was this when we run into David Warner
I think it was.
or not David Warner? Because his likeness would probably be a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably don't actually have the real likeness.
David Warner's one of those guys who's like just classy enough to get into your made for TV movie, but not like super expensive. I mean, he's classy, but he's affordable. Kind of like Christopher Lee. Because I mean, Christopher Lee will do like Shakespeare and stuff, but he'll also do Count Dooku and Saruman. Which, to be fair, I guess Lord of the Rings is a work of classic literature, but
Yeah, pretty much.
I still haven't seen those Hobbit movies.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, we have the first
I
one. I
mean,
just
if
haven't.
you,
I need to clear out a 3-hour block of time to watch it.
yeah, like, they're pretty good if you set aside the fact that they are, well, that they are pretty artificially extended.
Yeah, that in general is just a thing I'm getting sick of.
Yeah, like,
Oh,
you know
Christopher
what?
Blair and the USS Concordia. That's awesome. Wing Commander ref shout out.
Oh yeah, yeah, that is a pretty good one.
Another role Mark Hamill did, by the way.
Yes, that was also a great role.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great actors that when they
Oh, in
finally
those
went to the
games.
FMV ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Malcolm McDowell.
Yep. Uh,
Dude who played Biff
John
in Back to the Future.
John Rhys
John Rhys
Davies,
Davies. Uh, the
which
chairman
I
from
like.
Iron Chef America in one of his earliest roles.
Really?
Yeah, he was in Wing Commander 4. He was like this newbie scrub guy
Wow.
who may or
I,
may
I
not
actually,
die depending on your actions.
I actually haven't played Wing Commander 4.
Oh, that's a good one.
I remember hearing it was a good one. I just never ended up being able to get a copy.
Well, you can now because it's on GOG.
Yeah, I probably. In fact, I may already have a copy on GOG. I just haven't played it.
I'm pretty sure I got the whole series by this point, as far as what they released on GOG, which I think is everything short of the XBLA, like subspace wannabe.
Hmm. Yeah, because they do have Prophecy on GOG, don't they?
Yeah, and I think Prophecy comes with Secret Ops,
Okay.
which was a. It's funny because it's one of the earliest examples of a like DLC expansion pack thing, except it was free. I just never got it when it was free because it was like 500 meg download back when I had a 28.8 kbps internet connection.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Yeah, that would kind of suck.
Yeah, I remember leaving my computer on like for like 2 days straight connected to the internet trying to download the demo of X-Wing Alliance back then. So
I remember doing similar things when I was young as well. Ah, the days of dial-up modems.
yeah, that sucked. You know, you couldn't if you had to get a phone call, it wouldn't go through if you were connected unless you had like a second phone line, which
At best, at worst, it would disrupt the actual modem call.
yeah. Whoops! I think we did that thing where we kind of got swarmed by everything on the map again.
Ah, don't do that.
It's okay. It's funny to laugh at us dying.
At least there's no real penalty for it. Yeah. If we were playing on a higher difficulty, what would actually happen is you would probably suffer a every time you
Ship
get
wound.
defeated. Yeah,
Yeah.
you basically get a ship wound.
There was
And
actually a mission in the Romulan series where that happened to me on the normal difficulty. I hope they fixed that bug by now because that was complete bullshit. You probably know what mission I'm talking about.
I don't remember.
Kind of like the I think it's the last one for the Romulan series actually. It was
Oh, yeah?
basically a gigantic fleet battle, except
Oh,
your
yeah.
allies were stupid and weak and all died, thus leaving you alone to fight the gigantic fleet battle on your own.
when I went through that, they didn't see the problem with that one was there was one enemy ship that would do well, if I remember correctly, that one is against a another Romulan fleet, isn't it?
No,
No,
it's
Okay.
the surprise bad guys for the Romulans.
Oh, right. Yeah, but they
But they probably
those
had a
one-
dreadnought that did something big similar to
Yeah,
the
yeah, because they had a they had a ship that dealt like a conal AOE attack, and it was using that really regularly,
Mm-hmm.
so it was very easily destroying most of the fleet.
Yeah, that mission was like 10 times of frustrating back in the day, and really hope they fixed it by
Yeah,
now.
when I went through, it wasn't as bad. But I think that by the time I got to that mission, they retuned it so that that ship was not basically one-shotting everything at once,
Yeah.
which is very good. Like, when that mission actually works right, I think it's actually a very interesting mission.
No, it's cool. It's just, yeah, it's one of those, here's a giant fleet battle, except all your allies are dead, so now it's the giant fleet versus you.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I basically won it by repeatedly cloaking, moving up to the thing I need to destroy to win it, and, like, self-destructing.
Don't fly into the middle of the ship explosion.
I was flying away from the ship explosion. I'll just dock with Empok Nor, and I'm sure my ship will be fixed by the time I get out. Because that's how this game works. I'll leave my crew to it. So I've traded my tiny little pistol for 2 tiny little pistols.
Fortunately, the gun I got from the last mission, I actually can't. It's not actually an upgrade for any of my characters because everyone else already has blue Mark 8 guns.
I had one guy without one, so.
Well, I have my Balara with the Ghostbuster rifle.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, okay.
Going akimbo style.
So technically, a blue Mark 8 is actually better than the Ghostbuster rifle, but not by much.
So I now want you all to picture my gigantic lizard man jumping through a window, like shooting dual guns John Woo style.
If only we were getting fan art.
I know. I'll have Fleet do it.
Yeah.
He's an artist.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
He's an artist and he does art for money.
That would be pretty great.
I'm sure it's not the weirdest request he'd have ever gotten. In fact,
No,
I know for a fact it's not the weirdest request he'd ever gotten.
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely not. Alright, yeah, I remember the map for this one was a little weird.
Yeah. It's Empok Nor.
Oh yeah, here's where we needed to go. Yeah, because the map points you in one direction, but you actually need to walk away from it in order to get to the right floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just took these because I wanted the mental image of the giant lizard man using 2 really tiny little pistols.
I mean, it was already pretty great when you were using a pistol.
Yeah, but there's 2 of them.
Now you have 2 of them, so it's only better.
Guns Akimbo is the best.
Yeah. I like that they have both pistol and dual pistol as weapon types. I think it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's great nonetheless.
Well, if 1 gun's awesome, 2 guns is even more awesome. I just wish they let you do, like, double phaser rifles.
I don't think that... Like, that would make even less sense.
You are Rex Power Cult.
I need to play more of that game.
Yeah, I beat it. It was pretty fun. Short, but, you know, it was only, like,
Well,
$7 when I bought it.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
5.
It's not... Like, even when it was new, it was designed to be pretty short.
Normally.
Yeah. So it was designed to be a short add-on experience.
Yeah, my biggest
Which,
issue
you know,
with that game is first-person driving sucks, and you should never have to do it.
you know what? Like, I am pretty sure that at this point, the way that Far Cry does it is
Yeah, I guess
designed
more
to
specifically, it's
be-
more that like Far Cry's first-person driving sucks, and you should never have to do it. Oh right, this
Yeah.
is the gas that drives you crazy.
Yeah. But like, I'm pretty sure that Far Cry's first-person driving is like done goofy intentionally. Like they don't make it better because they don't need to.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why I like it. Like the vehicles in those games, especially in 3. In 2, it was a little bit more important, but in 3, like your car is so superfluous that it doesn't really matter.
Well, it only annoyed me in Blood Dragon because there's basically one specific scene where you have about 30 seconds to drive something out of an exploding area, or you lose.
Well, okay.
And the autosave's a bit far back from that. And I had to do that about 4 times because first-person driving sucks.
Well, okay.
It might have just been something that worked better on the controller pad too. I don't know. I don't have I'm too lazy to hook up my PS2 controller, and I don't have an Xbox 360 controller with wires. Oh, sorry. No, not you. Not you. Stop shooting him. Stop being crazy. Shoot
Right,
Gil.
well.
Gil's an asshole.
Yeah.
Though I actually am kind of waiting for an Xbox One controller to get PC support, because those actually feel really nice in hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think they already can.
Last I read, they were working on it, but they need to do a lot of like driver crap.
Oh, okay.
But that was a while ago. But yeah, actually, I do like the feel of the Xbox One controller. I've yet to feel a PS4 one.
I like the PS4 one, but like at the same time, I've always liked the I always liked the PS3 controller. I know a lot of people don't.
My biggest issue with it is kind of the wobbliness of the R2 L2 buttons.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's my big issue with it, but it's not that huge a deal breaker.
I will temper that by saying that the standard, the 6-axis, was not that great, but the DualShock 3 actually feels very solid, and I've always liked how that felt. But like at the same time, I understand that a lot of people don't. So,
Yeah, and it's weird. I like the PS3 controller better for a lot of things, but the Xbox style controller feels better for like shooter type games to me. Something about the offset analog switch sticks from each other. Meanwhile, the Xbox 360 controller is complete garbage for fighting games. Or anything where you basically want to use the D-pad.
Yeah, unless you got one of the ones with the transformable D-pad.
Yeah. Those are
the transformable D-pad is pretty nice.
Those are like.
But I'm not.
bucks.
Really?
Well, the one with the play and charge kit's $65.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen the standalone one. I mean, I've never looked that hard, but
yeah, the play and charge kit is goofy. Like it is a little finicky.
Yep, I have one. Sadly, the battery since died, so I basically just use it as a wired controller at this point. I need to actually get another like battery.
Yeah, I had a problem not that long ago where it was just straight up refusing to actually charge. Like it would
Yeah,
recognize
that's
that it was
what
getting
mine's
power
doing.
from
It's
the
like
plane.
the battery does not charge.
Well,
It'll
it ended up
charge,
not
but it'll
being.
drain in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. That's a different issue. Like
Yeah.
mine was not actually initiating the charge cycle at all.
Yeah.
Like it would plug in and it
Oh.
would only recognize it as a wired controller basically.
That's lame.
So I ended up having to fandangle it a little bit. Yeah, as I ended up having to fandangle it a little bit in order to finally get it to start charging again. In which case, it started to work.
Yeah, I'm thinking of just next time getting one of those like independent stands that you just put them on rather than a plug-in thing.
Oh, like the yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like the Wii remote has.
Yeah. I have one of those for my Wii remotes, and it's real nice.
Yeah, and they tend to be cheaper because I don't think they're made by Microsoft.
Oh yeah, they tend to not be.
Yeah. I should probably get some for the Wii U too, or the Wii remotes too, but I have not played my Wii in a while. I still own. I own 3 games for the thing anymore.
I have one of those, like one of those charging cradles for my PS3 controllers.
Oh, that'd be nice too.
It works all right, but it's a little finicky. Pretty much because like micro USB is not that great of a connector type.
Mm-hmm.
So it sometimes is a little too easy to, it's sometimes a little too easy to not be properly connected. Which, whatever.
But yeah, I'll try to find somewhere that has a PS4 demo unit just to try to see how the controller feels in hand.
Yeah, I mean, there should be. Well, I'm a little surprised that your work doesn't have one.
No, we just have. Well, it's because we only have like 3 kind of in sections for displaying stuff. One's Disney Infinity, one's like tablet stuff, and I guess the third one just went to Xbox because they paid more or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but if you went to a GameStop, they should have one.
Yeah. And here we are fighting Mr. There Are 5 Lights again.
Yep. So now we will arrest him once again.
Yep. And now we can go to our ship. Probably have to fight more guys.
I actually can't remember if we need to fight more guys.
I don't know. I just generally assume we have to fight more guys. We usually have to fight more guys.
Yep.
Oh, we have to fight more guys.
Yep. Of course.
Well, let's take out the turrets first.
Actually, we should probably take care of these attack ships first.
Yeah, we should. Okay, fine. We should take care of the attack ships first. Before getting in range of the turrets.
Yeah. It's just, if they're going to spawn right on top of us, then we might as well. So I think, if I remember correctly, one of the nice things about flight deck carriers is I think, although it doesn't seem like they do, I thought that your summons did benefit from your cruiser commands, but I'm not seeing the buffs on them. I guess I'd have to double check that, but I remember them saying that your summons counted as allies.
They've altered the deal. Pray they don't alter it further.
Oh well. If they don't, then Alright. Now let's blow up these turrets. Which is actually relatively easy because they're not that tough,
Yeah.
and they're clustered up.
Yeah, I kind of
They're
wish I had
clustered
cannon
real
AoE.
tight.
Or
Yeah,
cannon
Uh,
cone fire, whatever they call it.
yeah, scatter volley.
Scatter
but,
volley.
Yeah, cannon AoE. But like one of the nice things, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this maybe when we did this on the Fed side, was they're clustered so close that when you destroy one, the explosion actually tends to severely damage, if not destroy, the others, which is real nice.
Yeah. It's like a chain reaction of a giant minefield.
Yeah, why? It makes you wonder why they would even set up their mines like that.
They expect them to self-replicate infinitely.
Yeah, clearly. It just didn't get the technology working. Alright, so that's all the turrets. Now we just need to take care of these attack squadrons.
One more.
One, oh, there we go. Yeah, and these interceptors are doing way better. I guess the whole having shields thing helps quite a lot.
That's what the Rebel Alliance thought too.
Yep. And, it worked out well for them.
Yep. I mean, until Star Wars Legacy, but we're just gonna sweep that over there. And really, the Empire didn't fare any better there too. So, damn Sith.
But yeah, I know we mentioned I think we were talking about it last week, probably uh, another week as well, but you know, while Cryptic and some of the fans of Star Trek Online have talked about wanting to have a Cardassian faction, and it would make a lot of sense. It's not something that would be kind of nonsense, but
Nah.
that mission showed us the entire extent of the Cardassian fleet as it is currently known in the game. If there was going to be uh, if there was going to be a whole Cardassian progression, there's going to need to be a lot more ships generated. That, or just they will have to just accept that they will be flying Jem'Hadar,
Mm-hmm.
which I
Well,
don't
those
know
are
if they would.
those were sea store or not sea store ships, lockbox ships, which is the thing.
Yeah, so far every Jem'Hadar ship has either been a lockbox ship or a Lobby store ship,
And in fact, weren't,
and
weren't
the
both of those Cardassian ships the same thing?
no, one of the Cardassian ships was put in a lockbox. The other one has not yet.
Oh, okay. Anyway, next time, Mirror Universe shit.
Yeah, and if we're lucky, we'll probably be able to finish off the rest of the Klingon storyline next week.
Yay!
I don't know if we will though, because this entire block is a lot of long missions.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We
Also next episode we're going to show off some new ships, which
yes.
should also be pretty cool.
Yes.
So that's it for us for this week. We thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you all next time.
Bye, everybody.